Now please welcome the publisher of the Star Ledger, Richard Vezza.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here tonight to present this award. The Hall of Fame has its entertainers, its sports figures, and now it has its first newspaper, Horatio Alger, as you heard, someone who came here and lived and worked the American dream. SI's newspapers serve and continue to serve many communities across this country. And while he was an astute businessman, I think that he would rather be known not for his business acumen, but for his newspapering. And I think that the best thing that I can call him is a newspaper man. SI understood that newspapers were a special kind of business. They were like any other business. They had a responsibility to stockholders and employees and customers. But unlike other businesses, newspapers had a responsibility to the public. You'll hear about SI's accomplishments a little more from the honoree Sam Newhouse. But I want to say that SI published his newspapers without fear or favor. He believed very much in serving the public interest. And fear or favor wasn't simply a slogan for SI. It was something that he lived day in and day out. There are many times when SI's business interest, the business of a newspaper, came into conflict with that public trust. And I can tell you that every time the public won out. And today, those of us who operate and run the newspapers that SI has given us, we continue to live that legacy. I'd like to present the award to one of SI's grandsons, Sam Newhouse, who is also an executive with Advanced Publications. I was going to give a nice speech.
Wow. I'm not sure if I've had anything less to say after all that, but I'll try anyway. My grandfather, S.I. Newhouse, lived the American dream. He was born in New York City while his parents lived in a tenement on Orchard Street. His parents soon moved to Avenue C and 21st Street in Bayonne, where he grew up. S.I. became the breadwinner and father of the family of 4 boys and 4 girls, all of whom were to work with him during his lifetime. He graduated high school around the age of 13 and went to New Jersey School of Law at night, getting his law degree at age 16. He was employed by a Jersey City law firm headed by Judge Herman Lazarus and was told as a first assignment to close the Bayonne Times, which was then in bankruptcy. He told his employer he could make more money running the newspaper than he could by selling its assets. The judge gave him 1 month to prove it. He continued running newspapers until he died 63 years later. In 1922, Judge Lazarus was given the opportunity to buy a sickly newspaper in Staten Island, the Advance. Lazarus did not want to grow that business. S.I. took the money he had saved for a European honeymoon, and bought the Advance. He and his bride spent a weekend in Niagara Falls. They were married for 57 years. The family, S.I. and his brothers and sisters, Ada, Louis, Naomi, Theodore, Gertrude, Estelle, and Norman, all joined him and helped make the Advance a healthy newspaper. In the early days of the Depression, he bought the Long Island Press and then returned to New Jersey to buy the Star Ledger. And that was just the beginning. Carrying his trademark battered brown briefcase that was the closest thing he had to an office, my grandfather assembled a group of 26 successful newspapers. Along the way, he also bought 51% of the stock of a magazine company Condé Nast for $5 million. And he expanded into television stations and later cable television franchises. By dint of single-minded purpose and awesome capacity for hard work and a keen business sense, Mr. Newhouse built one of the country's largest communication empires. The New York Times reported on the day he died. I was fortunate to have a chance to see my grandfather in action. I was a young manager at the Jersey Journal, and SI was in his 80s, but he was still visiting the newspaper. You could set your watch by his 8 a.m. sharp weekly arrival. One time, our press was delayed for mechanical reasons, and SI flew into a rage when he found out we had not been able to start the press for that day's paper. I'll never forget the sight of my grandfather running up and down the stairs of the production plant while demanding that the press and composing room managers take the necessary actions to get the paper printed. Ordinarily soft-spoken and polite, my grandfather had no patience for sloppy performance that got between us and our readers. You don't have to look much further than this customer focus to understand the secret of his success. But it was his unique vision and personal qualities that truly set my grandfather apart. As I shunned the spotlight and the political clout that many of his fellow newspaper owners relished, one of the hallmarks of his success was his decision to break from the past of powerful media barons. It's a challenge to take over a paper that's slipping and make something out of it, as I said in an interview. I don't look upon our papers as a means of wielding power. We've never had any political ambitions. Just because I'm the owner, I don't feel in all conscious that it's right to tell the people of the community what to think. And in words that ring true, especially in these challenging economic times for newspapers, he commented, "Our job is to keep the newspapers economically sound so they can maintain their independence and make certain that editors and readers can determine how they feel about community issues. Only a newspaper which is a sound business operation can be a truly free, independent editorial enterprise." SI also believed in giving back. In 1978, he supported his alma mater, Rutgers School of Law, with the building of its permanent home at 15 Washington Street in Newark, the SI Newhouse Center for Law and Justice. And he championed the profession of journalism by funding the creation of the SI Newhouse School of Communication at Syracuse University. At the dedication of the school in 1964, presided over by President Lyndon Johnson, Newhouse revealed his philosophy in a bronze inscription at the entrance of the campus. A free press must be fortified with greater knowledge of the world and skills in the arts of expression. My grandfather journeyed far from his roots in Bayonne, but New Jersey was always special for him. He loved all of his newspapers, but he was especially proud of the Star-Ledger, a powerful force of unification and betterment for New Jersey. And New Jersey has always been proud of him. The caption of a 50-year reunion photo of his Bayonne graduating class states, "There were 30 members, and many of the students went on to become important figures in their fields." In the first row is little Samuel Newhouse, who is now one of the leading newspaper publishers of the United States. My grandfather would be honored to be included in the New Jersey Hall of Fame, and I am grateful to all of you for this recognition. Thank you.